Hello, everyone, and welcome to a D&D experience that we like to call High XP. We're going to start a one-on-one campaign. Um, I'm going to be a dungeon master. My friend Kyle is going to be the player. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's going to be in the main city of Magnaport, which is a large city in the outcast region of the world. It's the only civilized-ish place in the Outland region, and it feeds the main kingdom in Lotheb and the king. And I'll let Kyle tell you a little bit about his character, and then we can get started.
My paladin's name is Meyer Eldridge. He's been part of this church pretty much his entire life. He's given everything to Crown and Church. He is strictly a soldier of, over here, what is it, a baron?
Yes, a baron. Baron Damian Willis. You have met him once when you was getting knighted for the kingdom. He's a pretty, commanding presence guy, as you would have to be out here. His hair is nice and styled always, very kept beard, very dark hair. He's not very tall, but he is pretty wide and strong in himself. He has the symbol of the olive branch because he likes to broker a lot of trade deals, which is how Magnaport has became such a rich city in such a short amount of time because he's the third generation baron here, right? Now you're part of the church and a knighted soldier of the kingdom, and so you're sent on doing a lot of missions in and out of town. And that's where we're going to start off at. You are called to your commanding officer, your next in line in the church. He's also a radiant paladin like yourself. His name is Sergeant Guther. And you have been, that morning when you was eating breakfast, like a alkalitis came by and dropped you a message that you are ordered to appear fully armed and ready to leave the church as soon as possible.
Well, I grabbed my bastard sword, my spiked steel shield, and I prepare Lady Aster for the ride up to, I guess what, the barracks, or where did he call me for?
You and Sergeant Gunther are in the church. You do have stables, so if you go outside, you'll have to prepare your horse and come back in. But you're still there. You have a very small quarters. Although you are a pretty prominent person, there's just not much in the room of the church. And while you are a still true seer, there is only a handful of anointed paladins in here, there's just not that much room to spare. Almost
Sure.
anything in the inner walls is space is very limited. The church is one of the lucky places that has actually grounds around it where you could practice and do things like that. But most people don't even have really a backyard. They have a common area where they share with other households and stores and things like that.
All right, well, then I head to Sergeant Gunther.
Okay, yeah. When you get to Sergeant Gunther, he's actually behind the desk. He's an older, middle-aged gentleman. He's got a big, thick, handlebar beard and very short cut hair. He's not in his armor that you would see him in battle. In fact, you know he has it, but you've never actually even seen him in it. He's always doing the desk work now, since he had a very bad injury to his leg. When you walk in the town or walk in, he looks up at you and he's like, Eldridge, it's time for you to take your first solo mission into the Wraithmoor. You know the Wraithmoor as a land that is overseen by a lich that lives in a semi-floating island slash castle above the Wraithmoor. You've never seen him. No one, Sergeant Gunthers haven't seen him. You don't know anyone that has seen him. But it's speculated up in this big floating castle, there's a lich there. And underneath the Wraithmoor is like a dead land and like all kinds of undead creatures. They mostly stay there. There is a kind of a written pact because the Wraithmoor does trade supplies with Magnum which the church really doesn't like, but it also keeps the peace most of the time. But there are times where infringes happen. And in this time, you were sent to in this time that they know of a small village on the outskirts of Onnet County, which is the whole barony of Baron Willis, and they had report back that the squad there has been badly injured and hurt, and is requesting assistance to hold back the incursion from the Wraithmoor.
Well, Sergeant, I will go and I will defend these people.
You will do us proud, as always.
What is what's the weather in the land right now?
Today is August the 1st.
Okay, so it's pretty warm. I don't need to worry about any sort of warm weather gear or anything like that.
No, it's nice riding weather. There's even a nice light breeze that comes through.
All right.
Yeah. So you have like a 3-day travel on a horse to get to this little village. It's a small mining town. It has a ruby mine in it. But you know, like that's really its only purpose. And it, like, if it wasn't for that fact that they probably wouldn't even keep this little mining town because it's so close to the Wraithmoor.
Well, coming up on the town people.
Say again.
Said coming up on this little town, do I see any people?
Oh yeah, so you have you have a few days travel to get there.
No, sure.
Is there anything you want to do in town before you leave?
Well, I've pretty much already outfitted my guy to just be standard. There's nothing I really can buy or really afford. I have 35 gold.
Okay.
But I'm pretty stacked already. I already have 7 days worth of rations. Got water skin, bedroll.
All set to go. Okay, so you get on your horse, which is a proud, mighty steed, and you start walking through town or the city to leave, and you get all kinds of nods and a few bows as you go through. A lot of people wave at you. You're kind of a pillar of society. Some people bug you over like very minor, trivial things that they want you to solve, but it's way below your attention. You know, you are a limited resource, so you can't really take the time to do everything. But you know, they respect you. You did them right. People, you know, are proud to have you as a knight and a paladin of this town. So yeah, you ride on. You go through the marshes, and you know, as you're coming as you're coming up, you know, you have to camp out for a while, and it takes a few days there. It's completely dark at night. You notice it's a new moon, so there's no light whatsoever when at night. and you're coming up on this town eventually, and it's like the end of like your third day, so it's like right before dusk. Is there anything you want to do?
Coming up on this town, I'd like to. Not so shabby. I'd like to make a spot check, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, roll your spot.
Oh wait, I forgot to. Oh no, I rolled an F20 on it. Sweet.
No,
23.
You rolled a 20. You got to roll a 1d20.
So /R space. Oh yeah,
1d20 plus 3.
I see what I forgot.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. You know, it's fair. It's as a new moon when dusk comes around. There's not much light, so you don't see much, but you do see a few of the huts and the little cabins out there. They have lights on and stuff. You can tell that there's been like a small fire off on the west side of the town.
A small fire, like a
Like
building burning, or
yeah, like a building burning on the west side of town. You're actually
Well-
coming in on the east side. It's the far side. You see like the remnant smolders of it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get Lady Aster up to speed and head that way.
Oh, so you're coming in like at a charge?
Not necessarily a charge, but a faster gallop. Fast gallop. How's that? Not necessarily a charge, just getting there with a bit of urgency to see what this fire's about.
Yeah. As you're coming into town, you come like right into the first houses, and you like start looking around, and you realize that there are ghouls all in the streets and stuff, and like there's injured people laying out. So I'm gonna set up a little map for you here. Little quick one here. Let's see here, token. Just gonna put you in. What's this guy? Oh, that's a dead human. We can throw some dead humans around here. So I'll go ahead and bring you over to this page, as you can see, as I'm setting it up, and you know, you're coming in from this area down here.
Okay.
So, but you're on a horse, so I'm trying to get you a token. So we'll put you at. There's your horse. And you. I know you're on your horse right now, but I'm going to make two separate tokens here.
Cool.
That's fine.
And then, let's see here. There is a way to There we go. Controlled by Meyer. Save changes. So, you're going to be able to move you and your horse here.
Alright.
If you want, you can put your hit points and stuff in the box, the green box, and like your AC in the blue for you and your horse. And I'll continue loading up some.
I don't know what you're talking about. Green and blue.
If you click on the character, if you click on the token, there's a red, green, and blue one come up.
Oh. And health is green.
Yeah. And you can put your AC as blue. Yeah. So a lot of these goals that you see up and moving around look like just common townspeople. There's older men and young women and children and everything here. You can definitely tell they've been turned to something's turned the townspeople into ghouls. And even one you see with the guard uniform of a soldier of Magnet Port. So, yeah, they're closing in on you. You have basically one turn to do something if you like before they would like kind of converge on you.
No. I would like 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. I'd like to move here.
Okay.
And because that was only 25, and that was my horse, I guess, moving. I would like to use one of my turn undeads.
All right. It's gonna be pretty easy. Go ahead and roll.
All right, my turn undead
Is D20 plus my charisma modifier.
Okay. So you can turn. You're a paladin. You get to turn as a cleric 3 levels lower than you. So you would be 5th level, so you'd be 2. But you rolled 1, that's 3. And as you do turn 1 like roll, you can roll for damage, right? You get damage.
Yeah, it's 2d6 plus cleric level plus
Charisma modifier.
So your cleric level's 2 for a purpose of turning. Eight. Yeah, so you get them up to the next one, and this holy rite comes out, and like it sears the front of the ghoul from head to turn, and and it screams out in agony, and then all the other ghouls turn to look at this divine light that just came down, and roll initiative.
How many dropped? Just one?
None dropped.
None dropped.
Oh, wait a minute. How far can you? Oh, you can only affect 3 because of your roll. So yeah, do
Yeah,
not
it's
drop.
like up to 60 feet. So
Yeah, but you can only affect up to 3 hit die.
yes.
Almost.
So I suppose it'd be the ones closest to me.
Yeah. Yeah. 1d20 plus
14.
2. 1d20 plus 2. 5. You definitely go first. And at that, we'll take our first break.